head coach Julie Goodenough in her 13th season at the top of this program. Coach, broad question to start things off as you get some of those pieces back, Bella, Earle, Payton Hall. What do you like about this team's approach to the offseason, how you guys have just been attacking those summer workouts?
Yeah, great question. Good to see you guys today, and glad that we're already here. You know, it's mid-October. The season's right around the corner. I would say Bella and Payton, just the example they set every day with work ethic. You know exactly what you're going to get from them every day. Bella is a 4-year player for us. She understands our program inside and out, understands how important fostering the culture is every day. And then Payton came in last year and just became our leading scorer, a big piece of kind of the puzzle for us. And so they've done a great job leading our team. It's interesting now you start building your team like in June. And so we have been together so long. Some of the things that I like about what we're doing right now is just the camaraderie, the chemistry of our team. We are celebrating each other in practice, celebrating little things away from the court as well, and just really getting along. And, at this point in the season, your team better be, pretty close-knit and working toward goals together. And so we're excited about where the team is right now.
Coach, good to see you. Payton Hall kind of crashed into the scene last year in the WAC, had a phenomenal freshman year. But we also see, as coaches, we see a lot of times the biggest jump in improvement is from their freshman to the sophomore season. So what do you see as a jump for Payton Hall to take going into her sophomore campaign?
Yeah, I think she was pretty comfortable in conference play last year, understanding that we needed her to be a big scoring threat for us, and she assumed that responsibility really well as a freshman. That's a big job, but she did a really good job with that. I think now going to her sophomore year, she's not a secret. No one's going to be surprised, by her abilities and the way that she can score. And so, really, I think her just reading the defense better as a sophomore, also, putting in more work on her own just to make sure that she continues to improve throughout the course of the season. But you're absolutely right. That jump between the freshman and the sophomore year is always the most interesting. You see some players make leaps and bounds just because of the maturity and that experience. And then other players, kind of flounder a little bit. And so we've got to, kind of see how the ebb and flow of the season goes for Payton. But I'll tell you, Payton loves basketball, and she really thrives on the court, whether it's practice or in games. And so we think this will be another really good season for her.
Coach, you had talked about celebrating the little things, and in practice each week you give out an oar for the energy giver of the week. Why did you decide to incorporate that, and how much of an impact has that had on your team and everyone trying to bring as much energy as possible to get that oar at the end of the week?
Yeah, looking back the last few years, the volume of practice this season is like at an all-time high compared to the last few years. And I think that our players are understanding like communication is a big piece of the energy that you bring to practice. Obviously, you've got to go hard with every drill, everything that we're asking you to do, bring that physical energy, but just communication, bringing other teammates along with you is a big deal, and that has to continue throughout the course of the season. But man, we've had some great celebrations on Fridays when we give that award, and it's been really hard. We're not going to give it to multiple people. It's going to go to one person, who really brought it this week, both physically, but also just in that communication area as well. Who's been the most vocal, who's been willing to bring that energy to give to their teammates.
I love that, Coach, and I'm sure the player that we're going to talk about next has probably won that award once or twice, but Bella Earle, she does so much for this team, not only as a leader, but leads the team in rebounding, top scorer, leads the team in assists, so really knows how to share the ball. But talk a little bit about her growth over these 4 years and what about her makes her so special?
There's a lot that makes Bella special. She is just the epitome of an ACU athlete. She loves Jesus. She's excellent in the classroom. If we get out and do community service, people out in the community know her. She's very well known on our campus. Really, really a special person here in the ACU community and for Wildcat Nation overall. She has won the OR Award, and she's one player that we've talked about almost every week. Is she the one that's going to win it this week? And she's only won it one time, and it was just recently. And the main thing is because we felt like, she was going to need to bring a little bit more than anybody else, like a little bit extra. Like that's what we expect from her as a senior leader, not just to be the norm, but like be above and beyond outside of her comfort zone. But she's an awesome person, awesome player. We are, going to ask her to really take the reins of this team just from her experience. For her being in our program now, going into her 4th year, she knows what our expectations are. She knows what the culture looks like, within our program, within the locker room. And so, we're really counting on Bella to have a great senior year and just be someone that leaves it on the court, day after day. And it's interesting, the seniors, those that are in that final season of their eligibility, like they just have a different set of urgency about them that no one else on the team can even understand because, everybody has more than just this season. But being Bella's final season to be an ACU Wildcat, I think she's just going to bring it every day, exhaust herself on the court, off the court, trying to get her teammates, to stay on board, to learn scouting reports, to put in more time on their own. And she's doing a lot of that right now. But we have high expectations for Bella, and I know that she will do everything she can to put those high standards on herself and have just the best season of Wildcat basketball she's ever had.
Coach, you've had some phenomenal players come through Abilene Christian during your time. It's been 13 seasons. Does it feel like that's how long it's been? The time certainly does fly.
It really does fly. This is the longest I've been at school, and not a coincidence. It's my favorite job I've ever had. It's so awesome being the head women's basketball coach at ACU. But it is kind of hard to believe we've been in Abilene that long. But love it, love the community, love ACU, love this program. That we're just trying to uphold the standards that coaches and players before us established.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. Best of luck this season, as I'll turn it over to Brandy Poole for the player breakdown.
We're going to talk a little bit about Bella Earle today, but something that makes her special that you don't normally talk about is her ability to move without the ball. Run that back a little bit, and then we're going to watch and see how she makes reads. We talk about her rebounding, her scoring, but again here, pause. This defender is going to make one little jump, and then you're going to see Bella Earle backdoor. Her teammate delivers a beautiful pass to her. Go ahead and roll, watch her as she moves back door. And the ability to move without the ball, just her IQ makes her really special in a lot of ways. You're gonna watch her here, pause. She gave this handoff and acted like she was gonna come off this flare screen, but then again, back cut to the rim. Go ahead and then watch her around the rim. She's got secondary moves in the post, little fadeaway and a finish down when she gets the ball in the paint. And so those are a couple of things that I think differentiates Bella Earle from some players is her ability to move without the basketball.
She burst onto the scene as a freshman at ACU and just has continued to build off of that now going into her final year with the Wildcats. So take a look at the non-conference slate for Abilene Christian. They'll open at home against Southwest. They got FIU. They'll play Stephen F. Austin, North Texas, a few Texas rivalries at Texas Tech. Some big ones here to get some wins early on, but also test the Wildcats early. I
agree, and I think they have great veteran leadership with Bella, and then you've got Payton coming into her sophomore season. This is going to be a great schedule. I have my eyes on that at Texas Tech game. I'm going to be calling that game, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a really good West Texas matchup. But yeah, just really looking forward to what ACU brings to the WAC this season.
Should be an exciting season for the Wildcats as we'll go ahead and bring in Bella Earle, the 5'10 senior guard from Texas, and Payton Hull, the 5'10 sophomore guard, also from the great state of Texas. Bella, we got to start with you because you're going into your final year at Abilene Christian, and you've been there since you were a freshman. When you look back, how much have you seen improvement throughout your game as you just continued to get better and better every single year?
I think a main thing for me is just gaining that confidence, and throughout the seasons that I've been here, I've been able to see myself grow because of my confidence. You know, as a freshman coming in, I'm scared to mess up. I don't want to be pulled out. I don't want to mess up. And I think just the coaches instill that confidence in me and being like, hey, if you mess up, it's okay, next play. And I think that's just what has been able to make me the player I am today.
Bella, in today's women's basketball landscape, it's pretty rare to have a player stay at a university for 4 years and grow with one team and one coach. So I commend you for that. I think it's really special. But talk to a little bit about what ACU has meant to you and the growth you've seen of yourself and your team over these past 4 seasons.
For me, my faith is a really big thing for me. And I think be able to just talk openly about my faith and have Christian coaches just pour into me. I can look up to them and lean on them whenever I'm down or just need advice. And I think just having a community surround me with that same faith background is really huge for me. And I just love our community. It's a really close-knit community. I can go into a grocery store and people be like, hey, great game tonight, or great last time. And so I just think it's really great that our community is not super tiny, but not huge, where I feel like a tiny fish in a big sea.
Payton, you heard Bella talk about, her freshman year and how there's a lot of nerves. You don't want to mess up. You come in and you just play with so much confidence in your rookie campaign. How were you able to just be able to do that in your first year of college basketball?
I would say the first game I was very nervous. Not a lot of confidence in that game, but Navy game, I did well and shot the ball, and that's when I knew I had enough confidence to just keep doing that. So that's what happened.
Payton, what did you work on this offseason that you want to bring to the court in your sophomore campaign? And how do you see your leadership role changing now that you're a go-to player on this team, even as a young player?
I hope to bring just better defensive skills. I hope to get more steals and more assists this year. And I just want to be able to just be, like what you said, like a leading role for this team. I want to be able to be the person who talks a lot, because that's not really who I am, but that's really what I want to do this year.
Bella, you've spoken numerous times about the close relationship you have with your dad, and you guys constantly text back and forth. What's one thing that he might have texted you recently that's really helped you in this off season?
I think one thing that he is constantly reminding me of is that you can get better. And I just remember growing up being super tired, from school, or we've already had multiple basketball workouts that day. And he's like, we're going to go in and we're going to make 300 more shots. And so having that instilled in me in a young age, and then him also being like, hey, make sure you're getting in the gym, just really makes me get better and makes me even more of a competitor and gives me an edge over my competitors. And so I think, him reminding me, hey, you need to get in your shots, that is something that is helping me.